Alright guys, it's that guy from Brown Nick Reviews here again, and I want to answer the unasked question: what do you do with an 8-scale buggy that you don't race anymore? And well, here's my answer. I turned it into a bug that I can take to the beach or bash around with, and drive up and down my street, and you know, it's pretty fun. I actually got this car many years ago. It used to be an 8-scale nitro buggy. It was a D812 Hara edition, which at the time was the 8-scale nitro buggy of choice for racing, and won a lot of races. But now, I guess I don't know, maybe it's like 7 years later. This is it was converted to electric, so this is actually an electric 8-scale racing buggy. So looks pretty different than what you guys see now, but let me show you the inside here. So there it is. You can see it's all 8-scale electronics in there. You know, you got my big T8 1900 kilovolt and an old Viper VTX8 8-scale ESC, along with a heavy-duty servo and all the heavy-duty parts. And I turned this into a basher car because, well, it's an 8-scale racing buggy, and the parts, if you look at them, are pretty robust. You can see they're all thick, and you know, this is 4-wheel drive, so, and it's all metal. And people ask, well, why don't you buy a Slash? Well, Slash is pretty much a little plastic wonder. I've never really liked Slashes too much, and I always thought that 8-scale buggies were probably the best platform to build something like a basher type vehicle, just because of how robust they are. And to give you an idea of how big this thing is, let me get a 10-scale racing chassis, put it right next to it. So this right here is my X-Ray XB4 2017. Well, yeah, 2017 with 2018 parts and stuff. But I wanted to put these next to each other just so you can see what I'm talking about with the size comparisons. Okay, so you can see right away that 8-scale buggy pretty much dwarfs it in comparison. And you can also see on the inside some of the parts and everything. 10-scale buggy, of course, is going to be a lot smaller in its parts than the 8-scale. All right, so there it is. Okay, I mean, just by looking at the shocks alone, you can see why I'd like to bash with a big old 8-scale buggy than with a small 10-scale 4-wheel drive. So I guess it just depends on what you're going to be doing with them. Yeah, you can buy old 8-scale electric buggies for pretty cheap nowadays. They're probably even cheaper than a lot of 10-scale stuff, just because people don't use them as much. And this body right here is actually for a Traxxas Slash, and I just kind of adapted it to work on my hot body's D812. All right, so you can see that right there. These lights, actually, I can actually put LEDs in there for those lights if I wanted to, and they would work pretty well. But yeah, that car has been a nice little basher that I've had for a while, and I kind of like to do this thing. I have another car that I did this with, which is in another video. I did that with a Kyosho TKI4 electric. But yeah, I wanted to show you a little bit of my collection here. So 10-scale, you know, good for racing, and 8-scale, good for everything else, I guess. So, you know, if you're bored with your 8-scale, or maybe you want to do something different with it, well, here's an idea for you. I'll just show you. And oh, the wheels right here you can get, these are actually from an SC8, and you can get these basically on eBay. The tires are just your standard short course 10 scale short course truck tires, so you can pretty much get all the parts for this thing for your 8 scale buggy project, just like I did. But I hope you like this little answer to the unasked question of what to do with your 8 scale buggy. So with that, God bless you, God bless America, and God bless the troops. Amen.